What do you call yourself?
Shuffles.
Shuffles.
Well, I don't call myself that. That's my trail name.
Okay. Where were you living before you were on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Columbus, Ohio.
What are you passionate about, Shuffles?
In life or on trail?
Both or either.
Oh man, that's a
In
a
life.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Well, I mean, first and foremost, my family and friends. Most important thing for me is issues of justice. That's why I've worked in politics the last 10 years. Yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts about the Pacific Crest Trail?
Well, considering my name Shuffles, the first month of my experience was incredibly difficult and painful. It's tough, man. Walking this far, hiking this far, it's a whole like physical and mental challenge. But it's the best part about it is that you're doing it in a community that wants you to succeed, and everybody's really encouraging. And I'm from California originally, so just being able to see how beautiful and I mean, diverse and incredibly large California has been. It's just been awesome. We're not even done with it yet.
Okay. What brought you, or do you have a story from the Pacific Crest Trail that you could share? Could be a time of like something amazing that happened, or something horrible that happened.
Yeah. I think the best stories I think are for me the social stories, like the interactions with other hikers, or the trail magic and trail angels. We just had like a couple days ago. It's been a while since we've crossed the road, and going through the Sierras, you're not really crossing many roads. And I think it's like the second or third road we crossed in a few hundred miles. And there was a couple there doing trail magic, cooking up burgers, and they don't live close by. They live 3 hours away, and this is what they do for fun. And for someone who's worked in politics for the last 10 years, definitely, it helps you gain a sense of humanity back to see stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't have any crazy stories, but just all of the experience has been like really, really humanizing and like really uplifting.
Okay. And what brought you here? Like, have you done a lot of hiking in the past, or what brought you to the Pacific Crest Trail?
No, never done a day of hiking or camping in my life. So the first month was me figuring out how to stake a tent, dealing with blisters and sunburn and all of that stuff. So what brought me to the trail was my friend Scabs, who did the trail in 2016. And when she told me about it, I didn't see why. I hadn't really known about the PCT before she did it. And when she told me about it, I was just completely floored by that accomplishment. I want to do something as cool as that.
Right on. And
talk about you.
What do you call yourself?
Rebel.
And Rebel, where were you living before you were on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Before I was on the Pacific Crest Trail, I was in Florence, South Carolina.
And Rebel, what are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about adventure and new experiences and learning new things.
And what are your thoughts on the Pacific Crest Trail?
It's an absolutely mind-blowing stretch of earth, a truly scenic trail with unbelievable views every single day.
Could you perhaps share a story about something amazing that's happened, or something horrible that's happened, or just, I don't know, some sort of story from the trail?
So Mount Whitney, the sunrise on Mount Whitney was one of the most was one of my most proud achievements, I would say, of my life.
Okay.
It really, like, having to start hiking at midnight on 3 or 4 hours of sleep, in the pitch black dark, going around Guitar Lake and having to navigate. I was on my own. I was hiking solo. That was a really cool experience. Breaking down the barrier of the river crossings was another thing. That was something that really scared me going into the Sierra, and I was unsure how I was going to handle that situation. And I may or may not have had a few poor river crossings at first, and I kind of got that out of my system, and now I'm very confident, and that's a skill that I have that I can take anywhere in the world, I feel like, now.
Right on. How did you end up on the Pacific Crest Trail? Have you done a lot of hiking in the past, or how do you end up on this trail?
Well, I did the Appalachian Trail in 2018, and I just fell in love with the long distance walk. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing for sure.
Okay. And
Do you want me to look at you or the camera?
I mean, whatever, dude.
Okay.
What do you call yourself?
I call myself Sugar Rush.
All right, Sugar Rush. Where were you living before the Pacific Crest Trail?
In beautiful Vail, Colorado.
And Sugar Rush, what are you passionate about?
Oh, man. I would say, a few things, but generally speaking, the environment. I work in politics as well, so there's a whole host of issues in that field as well.
Okay.
And then just other than that, being outside and having fun,
Okay. And what do you think of the Pacific Crest Trail?
I've been having the time of my life so far. Having a wonderful time. This last section in the Sierras has been absolutely spectacular, but I love the desert too, and I'm excited for everything that's coming next.
And do you have any story you want to share? Is anything like crazy happen where you
Oh,
scared
gosh.
or super awesome happened? Or I don't know, anything you want to?
It's hard to pick out a single thing as totally awesome because it's all been incredibly awesome so far. But gosh, I'd say the most random, funniest thing that I've seen so far was there was a day where our friend who was way faster than we are, we hadn't seen him all day, and we were trying to figure out where he was, and all of a sudden he rolled into camp like pretty late, and he had taken an entire side trip, gone out at Lone Pine, picked up beer and apples, and hiked back, and then met up with us. And he just,
how far did he go?
I don't know how far he hiked in the day, but the side trip was at least like 16 or 18 miles.
Plus hitching into town.
Hitching into town, and he got lunch, and then he came back, and he just showed up with 2 grocery bags.
Right on.
And that was pretty. As far as just spontaneous, like ridiculous things, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Right on. No, that's great. And what brought you out here? Like, have you done a lot of hiking in the past?
Oh,
or
for
how did
sure.
you end up on the PCT?
Hiking is definitely one of my favorite things to do. I try to get out there as much as I can. So.
And have you done a lot of other long hikes, or?
I've done most of the Colorado Trail. I haven't
Sick.
done the entire thing yet.
Cool.
But and then I've always I've been working. I work when I was younger. I worked on trail crews a lot, and then I still try and volunteer doing that a couple times a year on the Colorado Trail and the Continental Divide Trail.
Cool.
So I figured I'd get out and actually do one.
Right on. And so, what do you call yourself?
So they call me Tadpole on the trail.
And Tadpole, where were you living before you were on the Pacific Crest Trail?
America's finest city, San Diego, California.
Okay. And what are you passionate about, Tadpole?
And the outdoors, obviously, which is why I'm out here. I love motorcycles. I love adrenaline. Pretty much anything that gets the blood going.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on the Pacific Crest Trail?
So far, so good, man. It's quite the ride, quite the experience. Mostly positive. A few hardships, but overall, just a great experience, man.
And do you have a story you want to share? Is anything particularly, I don't know, something cool or something weird or something you had to struggle through? I don't know, just any sort of story or anything?
Yeah, honestly, so through the Sierra, obviously the Sierra is the hardest part of the trail. And I actually had some stomach issues. It's been on and off for about 2 weeks now. Better now, but through the Sierra, I had a few issues, just kind of won't get too into it, but you guys could imagine. So that definitely made the trek up those mountains and those passes a lot harder.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What
brought you out to the Pacific Crest Trail? How do you end up here? Have you just been backpack? Have you done a lot of backpacking in the past, or how do you end up on I don't know. It's a big commitment to do a trail this long. How do you end up doing it?
For sure. Well, being from California, I've gone camping in the Sierra my whole life. Yosemite, all these other national parks. Like I said, I'm from San Diego, so the trailhead starts pretty much in my backyard. I've always known about the trail. It's always been something I've been interested in. And finally, I decided to just go for it. Just get out here.
Right on. Cool. So